California, and your horses did bog outside Independence, Missouri, and they'd bog again 5 miles, but then they'd line out by the time they were in Nebraska. But we don't have that luxury because we only have 3 weeks, so we have to kind of make sure. So Jack is like, he's like, you need a dress rehearsal at least 3 days before. 2 days.
That's exactly right.
You got to know how much felt padding you need under these pack saddles. You got to know which horse is sort of wants to work toward the front, which are more content in the back, and how it's going to be sort of the lowest energy requirement to make this all happen. Because everybody's going to show up in Utah or Fort Bridger skinny. You know, the horses are going to be ganted. They're going to be thirsty and hungry. No question about it. And me and Quirt are too. We're going to be skinnier than they already are.
Well,
We have to minimize we have to get through in good shape.
And you will.
well,
Yeah, we will.
yeah,
There's no better, me and Quirt, if anybody can make this happen, definitely me and Quirt can.
well, you got it. The way to make it happen is a whole lot of advanced preparation.
Yeah, there's and so talking about driving the route beforehand and whether or not that was a good idea. Boy, Jack was pretty direct to the point. He's like, well, that's absolutely a no-brainer. I mean, obviously, driving it informs your perspective on what you're about to do. So you sure as hell better do that, and you better figure out where you're water and where you're headed, and where you're going to tie these horses, and where you're going to camp. And
Well, isn't it kind of like what they do for the roundup ride?
it is absolutely like that.
They run ahead and they figure it all out, and
And the
then
difference with the roundup ride, mostly, I guess, is that it's public ground.
right.
They go through major preparations, though. I think they like a year to 2 years in advance. Those guys
Well, and they have.
looking after their permits because they have so many people camping on national forest ground that it.
But so can I go back? So when you met Kurt for the first time, did you just sort of say, "Yeah, this"? I mean, how was your first reaction?
As far as what?
Your first reaction to Kurt. I mean, Kurt, you looked at him or he looked at you. What did you think?
Well, I mean, he was playing music up there, and I walked into this bar, and I'm like the only guy hanging out at the bar who's not local.
And he's-
It's Capita, South Dakota.
It's say that again. I couldn't.
Capita.
Capita.
That's the name of the town.
It's a town. I mean, it's not much of a town.
It's
like,
a bar and a gas station.
That's where he played, was the gas station general store. They cleared out a space for a band.
Oh,
Right.
so he was playing in the band.
So,
That's
like-
how you met him.
Oh, yeah, he's the lead singer in the band.
Oh,
I knew exactly who the hell he was when I walked in. And there he was, and he's in like a leprechaun costume. You know?
Well, because it's fourth. It's,
no, it's
St. Patrick's
St.
Day.
Patrick's Day.
This is probably the best cowboy in the whole place, and there's like a dozen guys wearing cowboy hats. And Quirt is your man. If you think you have to doctor a cow, Quirt is probably your best bet for keeping it reasonable.
That's great. That's good.
Yeah, damn right it's good.
Damn right it's
God,
So,
damn right. Damn
if-
right.
It's
But everybody, so they saw me walk in, and I ordered taps or whatever and stand at the bar. And like 3 different guys came up to me and asked me what my name was and said hello and introduced themselves because outsiders are not coming.
So they didn't know who you were.
Of course not.
I mean, they didn't know you were there to meet Kurt.
Yeah, no, but I told them, I'm like, I'm here to meet a guy named Quirt Rice. And they're like, oh, yeah. and he's wearing like this floppy leprechaun green styrofoam hat, you know. He looked like an idiot savant, you know. But you start talking to him about cows, and you realize...
You're right.
So, yeah, and he was doing good music. The acoustics were terrible. The music sounded terrible, but...
So
But Court and his little brother, you know, his brother's like 10 years old. His brother's much younger than him, and his mom, so you know, that's cool.
yeah, but so
Yeah, he really loves to play guitar.
so his little brother, is his little brother good too? Or can you?
Oh, yeah, his little brother's a good kid. Oh, yeah. Trying to play guitar. I mean, he's young, 10 years old. These kids are just babies running around. But he's trying to figure out the guitar, you know. But I bet that 10-year-old kid could definitely, like, move your parked car or drive a truck or something. I mean,
Interesting.
Court at 16 is really handy.
Quirt has a driver's license, right?
I mean, I never asked him. I mean,
Well, your mom has got the giggles, but
Sorry.
no, you know,
if he has a truck and a trailer,
he does.
so he obviously does. 16 is a
He
normal
must.
driving
If
age.
it's insured, my impression is this kid does things by the book. You know, his dad does not. And Court does not respect that. And Court seems to sort of like see the light. Jack and I agree on this.
Okay.
They're like, Court's home life has like affected him in a kind of a good way.
Yeah. He wants something better. He wants something better.
Yeah, he does. So so he's like, I got some elk kill in the barn, and I had to get a permit to move it across state lines. And I was like, elk kill? He's like, winter kill. And he has 4 elk heads that he found at that place in Wyoming with full antlers
Oh my God.
that he packed out on a horse, and they all have these little green tags on them. So he got them certified from the Wyoming Game and Fish to take cross state lines. And for a ranch kid to do something like that is, and the skulls are nasty. I mean,
So what's
this year's winter kill. He says he found these heads because fixing fence. I mean, whatever. I guess he finds elk that have died in the winter.
so what's he gonna do with those 4 heads?
To be seen. I didn't ask him. But they got little green tags on them, and they're rotting, and they got hair on them, and they're gross, for sure.
So he needs to.
Oh, so, let me tell you this big story about Quirt. This is last August. He was in Elk Mountain, Wyoming, is where he's been apparently working for some ranch or something. And I don't know quite what the deal is, but he's fixing fence for someone there. And he was living in a mobile home trailer next to another mobile home trailer. And the guy that owned the land was 80 years old or whatever. Old Wyoming guy, kind of rural environment. They had a bear that was breaking into the barn. At first they thought it was raccoons breaking into the barn. And then they found a 50-pound sack of grain out in the front yard. And like a big raccoon.
Not big.
Or a lot of them. A lot of raccoons.
Yeah, all getting together in a bunch.
So, whatever the way it worked out, at 2:45 in the morning, they had the bear out there, and they'd already notified Game and Fish. So, they notified Game and Fish they had a problem bear or whatever, and they're getting pissed off about it. Other neighbors So Quirt was out there at 2:45 in the morning. The bear walked past his trailer, and the old man, he called the old man. He's kind of half awake. And the old man said, go ahead and shoot it. And so Quirt, out there in his underwear and a pair of flip-flops or whatever, shot the bear with a single shot 243.
Jesus.
With iron sights. And he said the old man came out with like a flashlight and a scoped rifle. And the bear was like, 30 feet. And Quirt was like, I was just scared the old man is going to shoot me. So with the 243 in his underwear, he shot with a single shot 243. He ended up shooting the bear 3 times. And like the bear's crawling around the edge of the barn. Quirt's like pursuing a wounded bear that he shot twice.
With a light single-shot rifle.
Single shot. He said he was holding cartridges in his teeth,
Right.
and he had them like tucked in the waistband of his boxer shorts, and he's walking around the edge of a barn. So they got it done. I mean, this is definitely the Old West. When you're talking about a
He's your
16-year-old
guy.
kid just shot a bear in the barn in his underwear with a single-shot rifle.
I guess you didn't tell it.
The old man, he's fumbling around. He's like finally walking in the barn door. It's like all the dust is settling. Of course, like the bear was dead. I could see he was dead. He wasn't moving anymore. And he's like, we just leave him till morning, no worries. Of course,
Absolutely.
the next morning he had a bunch of his people who want to come out to learn to train dogs. Wanted to come out and see how his dogs worked. So Quirt said, the only way to go do that is if we ride horses. So he's like, he's going to bring in all these horses. And they're like broke geldings. And he was leading like 4 of them up. At one time, 4 lead ropes in his hand. And he's leading them up to the barn. And suddenly one of them caught wind of the bear
Boom,
carcass.
they all blew up.
And just took off.
Right, they all blew up.
Those horses cleared the hell out of there.
Yeah, horses don't like bears.
And he said, these idiot dog people, he said, these are just dog trial people who train border dogs.
Westminster
These
Dog
are the
Show.
horses we're supposed to ride? Because they'd acted,
I gather you didn't tell Quirt about your experience with bear spray.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think you did.
He's probably had the same experience.
He probably
did-
has, yeah.
So they did call the game warden. He skinned that bear. He had this bear skin on the couch in the house.
jeez.
And he tanned it. And he's tanned a lot of rawhide. And he's tanned several elk hides. And taken the hair off them. And then braided them into